China's history spans over 4,000 years, a narrative that has shaped one of the most enduring civilizations on Earth. We begin in ancient China, around 2100 BCE, with the legendary Xia dynasty. Though its existence blends myth with history, the Xia are credited with laying the foundations of Chinese civilization. Centered in the Yellow River Valley, they advanced early agriculture, developing the methods of irrigation that would sustain China's growing population for millennia. Following the Xia, around 1600 BCE, the Shang dynasty emerged as the first historically verified dynasty in China. The Shang era is notable for its advances in metallurgy and the creation of a centralized state. The Shang rulers left behind a rich legacy in the form of oracle bones, the earliest known form of Chinese writing. Around 1046 BCE, the Zhou dynasty overthrew the Shang and introduced the concept of the mandate of heaven, a divine right to rule that would justify the reigns of countless emperors to come. The Zhou period is divided into two: the Western Zhou, a time of relative peace and prosperity, and the Eastern Zhou, a time marked by fragmentation and the rise of the warring states period. Confucianism, Taoism, and legalism emerged, offering competing visions of morality, governance, and the cosmos. These schools of thought would influence Chinese society and politics for centuries. As the Zhou dynasty weakened, China splintered into competing states, leading to the Warring States period, circa 475 to 221 BCE. This era of constant warfare also brought about military and technological innovations, including the crossbow and advances in iron weaponry. The relentless conflict finally culminated in the unification of China under the Qin dynasty in 221 BCE. The Qin dynasty marked a turning point in Chinese history. Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor, centralized power in a way that had never been seen before. His reign was marked by monumental projects, such as the construction of the early Great Wall and the famous Terracotta Army, a testament to his desire for immortality. Qin Shi Huang also standardized weights, measures, and the written script across China, ensuring greater cohesion in his vast empire. However, his harsh legalist policies, which included severe punishments and heavy taxation, led to widespread unrest. The dynasty collapsed shortly after his death, but its influence on Chinese statecraft was profound. The fall of the Qin led to the rise of the Han dynasty in 206 BCE, a period often considered one of the golden ages of Chinese civilization. The Han dynasty, which lasted for over 4 centuries, expanded China's borders significantly, reaching Central Asia and Korea. This expansion facilitated the establishment of the Silk Road, a trade network that connected China with the West, allowing for an exchange of goods, ideas, and culture. Under the Han, Confucianism was established as the state philosophy, shaping the moral and political fabric of Chinese society. This era also saw advancements in science, technology, and the arts, with inventions like paper and the seismograph emerging during this time. However, the Han dynasty eventually weakened due to internal strife, leading to a period of division known as the Three Kingdoms, 220 to 280 CE. This era is famous for its intense warfare, as rival states, Wei, Shu, and Wu, vied for control of China. The Three Kingdoms period has been immortalized in Chinese literature, particularly in the historical novel Romance of the Three Kingdoms, which remains a classic of Chinese culture. Despite the political fragmentation, this period saw significant developments in military strategy and cultural production. After the turmoil of the Three Kingdoms, the Jin dynasty briefly reunited China in 266 CE, but it was plagued by internal conflicts and eventually succumbed to invasions by nomadic tribes. This led to the Southern and Northern dynasties period, 420 to 589 CE, where China was once again divided. Despite the political fragmentation, this era was one of cultural and technological advancement. Buddhism, which had been introduced to China during the Han Dynasty, flourished and became deeply integrated into Chinese culture. Technological innovations, such as the invention of the water wheel, continued to shape the economy and daily life. The Sui dynasty, 581 to 618 CE, reunited China after centuries of division. Although the dynasty was short-lived, it was pivotal in setting the stage for the subsequent Tang dynasty. The Sui undertook massive public works projects, most notably the construction of the Grand Canal, which connected the Yellow and Yangtze rivers and facilitated the transport of goods and people across vast distances. However, the strain of these projects, coupled with military overreach, led to widespread rebellion and the dynasty's downfall. The Tang dynasty, 618 to 907 CE, is often considered the zenith of Chinese civilization. It was a time of unparalleled cultural, artistic, and economic achievement. The capital, Chang'an, became the largest and most cosmopolitan city in the world, attracting traders, scholars, and artists from across Asia and beyond. The Tang era saw the flourishing of poetry, painting, and music, with figures like the poet Li Bai leaving a lasting legacy. Buddhism reached its height during this time, influencing art, literature, and philosophy. However, internal strife, including the Lushan Rebellion, and external pressures from nomadic invaders eventually led to the Tang's decline. Following the Tang, China entered a period of disunity known as the Five Dynasties and Ten Kingdoms, 907 to 960 CE. This era of fragmentation was marked by political chaos, but it was also a time of cultural development, particularly in the southern regions. Despite the lack of centralized control, local rulers continued to patronize the arts and support technological innovation, laying the groundwork for the next phase of Chinese history. The Song dynasty, 960 to 1279 CE, succeeded in reuniting China, ushering in a period of economic prosperity and technological innovation. The Song era is notable for its advances in agriculture, such as the widespread use of fast-growing rice, which supported a rapidly expanding population. Urbanization increased, with cities like Kaifeng and Hangzhou becoming bustling centers of trade and culture. The Song dynasty also saw the invention of gunpowder, the compass, and movable type printing, technologies that would eventually spread to the rest of the world. However, the Song faced constant threats from northern invaders and eventually lost the northern half of its territory to the Joseon-led Jin dynasty, leading to the division between the northern Song and southern Song periods. In 1271, the Mongols, under the leadership of Kublai Khan, established the Yuan dynasty, 1271 to 1368 CE, marking the first time China was ruled by a foreign power. The Yuan dynasty maintained much of the existing Chinese cultural framework, but it faced significant resistance from the Han Chinese population. The Mongols implemented a rigid social hierarchy, with the Mongols at the top, followed by various ethnic groups, with the Han Chinese at the bottom. Despite this, the Yuan era was one of considerable cultural exchange, as the Mongol Empire connected China with other parts of Asia and Europe. The dynasty's capital, Khan Balik, modern-day Beijing, became a hub of international trade and diplomacy. However, the Yuan struggled with internal strife and peasant uprisings, leading to its eventual downfall. The fall of the Yuan dynasty paved the way for the Ming dynasty, 1368 to 1644 CE, a period marked by strong central government and significant cultural achievements. The Ming emperors worked to restore Chinese traditions and revitalize the economy after years of Mongol rule. One of the most notable figures of the Ming era was the naval explorer Zheng He, who led 7 massive expeditions to Southeast Asia, South Asia, the Middle East, and East Africa, spreading Chinese influence across the Indian Ocean. The Ming dynasty also saw the construction of the Forbidden City in Beijing, an architectural marvel that symbolized the power and grandeur of the Chinese Empire. However, the dynasty eventually declined due to corruption, internal strife, and external pressures, leading to its fall to the Manchus. The Qing dynasty, 1644 to 1912 CE, established by the Manchus, was the last imperial dynasty of China. The Qing era was one of territorial expansion, with China annexing regions such as Taiwan, Tibet, and Xinjiang. The dynasty maintained a complex bureaucracy and a rigid social structure, but it also faced numerous challenges in the 19th century. The Opium Wars with Britain exposed China's vulnerability to Western powers, leading to a series of humiliating treaties and the loss of Hong Kong. The Qing also faced internal revolts, such as the Taiping Rebellion, which further weakened the dynasty. As Western influence grew, China struggled to modernize while maintaining its traditions. The Qing dynasty finally collapsed in 1912, ending over 2,000 years of imperial rule. The fall of the Qing dynasty led to the establishment of the Republic of China in 1912. The Xinhai Revolution, led by figures like Sun Yat-sen, sought to create a modern, democratic state. However, the early years of the Republic were marked by instability, as China fragmented into regions controlled by warlords. The central government struggled to assert its authority, and the country became mired in political and military conflicts. The Chinese Civil War between the Kuomintang nationalists and the Communist Party of China, CPC, began in 1927, further destabilizing the nation. Although the Civil War was interrupted by the Second Sino-Japanese War, 1937 to 1945, it resumed after World War II, leading to the victory of the Communists in 1949. With the establishment of the People's Republic of China in 1949, under the leadership of Mao Zedong, China underwent profound social and political changes. Mao's policies, such as the Great Leap Forward and the Cultural Revolution, aimed to rapidly transform China into a socialist state. However, these initiatives led to widespread famine, social upheaval, and the destruction of cultural heritage. The Cultural Revolution, in particular, sought to purge China of capitalist, traditional, and cultural elements, resulting in a decade of chaos and repression. After Mao's death in 1976, Deng Xiaoping emerged as China's new leader, ushering in an era of economic reform and modernization. Deng's policies opened China to the global market, allowing for private enterprise and foreign investment. This period marked the beginning of China's rapid economic growth, transforming it from a largely agrarian society into one of the world's leading industrial powers. The country saw unprecedented urbanization, technological advancement, and a rise in living standards for millions of people. Modern China continues to evolve as a major global power, with its leaders focusing on maintaining tight political control under the Communist Party while navigating complex domestic and international challenges. Under the leadership of figures like Jiang Zemin, Hu Jintao, and Xi Jinping, China has expanded its influence worldwide through initiatives like the Belt and Road, while also addressing issues such as economic inequality, environmental degradation, and human rights debates. China's history is a complex narrative of dynastic cycles, philosophical evolution, technological advancements, and social change. As one of the most influential civilizations in world history, China's past offers invaluable insights into its present and future on the global stage.